The 1982 P Roosevelt Dime, bearing the Philadelphia Mint mark P, may seem like an ordinary coin from the early 1980s, but under the right conditions, it has the potential to be worth up to $5,000, making it one of the most surprising modern-era treasures in American coinage. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the Roosevelt Dime replaced the winged Liberty Mercury dime and remains in circulation today. Designed by John Arsenic, the obverse of the dime features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, along with the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," the date 1982, and the P Mint mark, which had only recently become standard for Philadelphia coins. Beginning in 1980, the reverse presents a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, with the inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and "1 dime." Though hundreds of millions of 1982p dimes were struck, it's the few flawless examples in extremely high grades or with unique mint errors that elevate this humble 10-cent coin to a $5,000 collectible. In total, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 519 million 1982p Roosevelt dimes. But the vast majority of these coins were circulated heavily and suffered from wear, bag marks, and poor handling. First glance, it might seem that such a high mintage would eliminate any notion of rarity. However, in numismatics, rarity often stems not from low mintages, but from survival rates in pristine condition. Coins from the early 1980s, especially those struck in high-speed production environments, were not well preserved by collectors. In fact, many examples of the 1982p dime show weak strikes, poor definition in the torch bands, and surface flaws, making high-grade specimens especially elusive. Today, only a very small number of these coins exist in mint state 68 MS68 or higher, and even fewer possess the coveted full torch FT designation from grading agencies such as PCGS and NGC. This is why a 1982p dime in MS68 FT, especially one with booming luster and flawless surfaces, can fetch values as high as $5,000 in the numismatic marketplace. One key factor in the value of a 1982p dime is whether it qualifies for the full torch FT or full bands FB designation. This means that the coin's reverse torched, the central design element displays fully struck horizontal bands and vertical lines, indicating a sharp, detailed strike from fresh dies. Achieving this requires not only excellent die conditions, but also precise striking pressure and minimal post-strike damage. Most coins from this era lack these sharp features, making the FT designation rare. A 1982 PMS68 FT dime is a true gem of the series and often exists in single-digit population numbers, making it highly attractive for registry set collectors who compete for the highest graded examples by year and mint. Another reason why the 1982p dime can reach $5,000 is its vulnerability to mint errors, especially during a year when the U.S. Mint faced quality control challenges. The early 1980s were a transitional period for U.S. coinage. One of the most famous outcomes was the creation of the 1982 No P Roosevelt Dime, genuine U.S. Mint error that occurred when the mint mark was accidentally left off some dies at the Philadelphia Mint. While the standard 1982p dime includes a visible P mint mark, the No P variety lacks it entirely, making it extremely rare and highly collectible. Though the No P is technically a different variety, it brings renewed attention to all 1982 dimes, including those with the correct mint mark. Additionally, other errors like off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchettes, and strikes on the wrong metal planchettes have surfaced for the 1982p dime, some certified examples selling for thousands of dollars, especially when combined with mint state grades. The grading process plays a critical role in the 1982p dime's market value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS62, MS70 reserved for uncirculated coins, while MS65 and MS66 examples of the 1982p are relatively easy to find. It's the jump to MS67 and MS68 FT, where the population drops dramatically. A single point in grade can mean the difference between a coin worth $100 and one worth $5,000. Certification by PCGS or NGC provides not only authentication and grading, but also registry recognition, which significantly boosts the coin's resale value. Coins graded MS68FT by either of these top-tier services are often placed into high-end registry sets, where collectors compete to own the finest known example for every year and mint combination. In such a competitive environment, even modern coins can fetch auction results in the thousands. In addition to technical grading, collectors and investors also pay close attention to eye appeal, the coin's overall look, including luster, toning, and surface quality. An MS68FT dime with rainbow toning, booming cartwheel luster, and clean fields can command a much higher premium than a coin of the same grade, with dull surfaces or distracting spots. While toning is a natural process that occurs when coins are stored in paper envelopes, albums, or PVC holders, it can actually enhance value when it creates attractive, multicolored effects. For modern dimes, such toning is relatively uncommon. So when it appears on a high-grade 1982p coin, it further distinguishes the coin as unique and collectible. Some toned 1982p dimes with elite eye appeal have realized over $3,000 at auction, especially when accompanied by a top population grade and full torch designation. Auction data and coin population reports confirm the increasing value and scarcity of the 1982p Roosevelt Dime in top condition. Coins that were once worth just a few dollars in the early 2000s have now achieved four-figure and even five-figure sales, particularly those certified in MS68FT. As of now, PCGS population data shows fewer than a dozen examples of the 1982p dime-graded MS68FT and none finer. This population scarcity is what drives demand and price. There simply aren't enough coins of this quality to satisfy collector interest. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and Stacks Bowers have all seen spirited bidding for such coins, with results often reaching $4,000 to $5,000, especially when two or more collectors are competing for the same registry slot. The 1982p dime's rise in value also mirrors a broader trend in the coin market. The increasing recognition of modern coinage as a serious collectible asset. In past decades, collectors largely focused on classic U.S. coins, early silver issues, large cents, and gold coins. But with the expansion of registry set competitions and the standardization of grading through PCGS and NGC, more collectors have turned their attention to modern series, including Roosevelt Dimes, Washington Quarters, and Jefferson Nickels. Within these series, high-grade moderns, like the 1982p Roosevelt Dime, have emerged as legitimate investment-grade coins. As more coins are submitted for grading and more collectors enter the market, the competition for top population modern coins will only increase, potentially pushing values even higher. In conclusion, the 1982p Roosevelt Dime is proof that even modern-clad coins can possess tremendous value under the right circumstances. With a market value that can reach $5,000 when graded MS68FT with exceptional surfaces and eye appeal, this seemingly ordinary dime becomes an elite-level collectible. Its value is driven by a rare combination of condition rarity, full torch strike quality, population scarcity, and increased collector demand in registry competitions. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a registry set builder, or someone just getting started with coin collecting, the 1982p dime is a coin worth taking seriously. If you happen to find one in pristine condition, or better yet, next up, the 1965D Mint Mark I dime. Though seemingly ordinary at first glance, is an exceptionally rare and valuable coin that has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors around the world. With a staggering market value reaching up to $6,000, this coin is not just a piece of pocket change, it's a remarkable artifact of American minting history. To truly appreciate the significance of this dime, we must explore the historical context of its minting. The transition from silver to clad coinage. The mystery surrounding the D-Mint mark in a year when no official Denver minted dimes were supposed to exist, and the demand among collectors that has skyrocketed its value in the modern, numismatic market. In 1965, the United States Mint made a major shift in its coinage materials. Prior to that year, dimes were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to the rising cost of silver and increasing hoarding of coins by the public, the mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition for dimes, quarters, and eventually half dollars. This change was driven by economic necessity. As silver coins were becoming too expensive to produce for everyday circulation, the Coinage Act of 1965, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson, authorized the mint to strike coins without a mint mark to discourage hoarding and to ease the transition during the silver shortage. Consequently, no official 1965 dimes were supposed to carry a mint mark, making any with such a mark an extreme anomaly. This is where the intrigue begins. The 1965 D mint mark dime is considered a mint error of extraordinary importance. According to numismatic experts, some 1965 dimes were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchates from 1964 or potentially minted using 1964 dies that still bore the D mint mark from the Denver Mint, since mint marks were officially removed. From dimes between 1965 and 1967, any coin from this period that bears a mint mark is deemed an error or transitional issue, which greatly increases its desirability and market value. In the case of the 1965 D dime, its existence defies official mint records, and only a few examples are known to exist, making it a true numismatic treasure. Adding to the coin's mystique is the extreme rarity of this particular mint mark anomaly. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified only a handful of these coins, and those in mint state condition or with full torch lines FB, full bands on the torch design command premium prices. The highest recorded auction price for a certified and verified 1965 D dime has soared to nearly $6,000, especially if the coin shows strong detail, no circulation wear, and clean surfaces. These coins are often discovered accidentally by sharp-eyed collectors or individuals going through old change jars, unaware they may be holding onto a fortune. Visually, the 1965 dime features the Roosevelt design, which was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt's contributions and leadership, particularly his support for the March of Dimes campaign that helped combat polio. On the obverse, Roosevelt's left-facing profile is depicted, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1965. The reverse shows a torch in the center symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch, peace on the left, and an oak branch strength on the right, along with the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus, unum, and one dime. What sets this error apart is the tiny yet powerful D mint mark, which appears just to the left of the base of the torch, a mark that should not be there. On any 1965 dime, according to official records, collectors covet this coin not only for its error significance, but also for its historical context. The transition years of the mid-1960s are a fascinating period in U.S. numismatics. The U.S. Mint was dealing with hoarding, public skepticism, and production changes that led to a flurry of varieties and transitional errors. Dimes from 1964 and earlier contained silver, and by 1965, the switch to clad coinage was supposed to be uniform and tightly controlled. The appearance of a 1965 dime with a Denver mint mark implies that a small batch slipped through the cracks, likely due to leftover dies or miscommunication at the mint, whether intentional or accidental. The result was one of the most sought-after dimes in modern U.S. coinage. What further elevates the value of the 1965 D dime is the condition and grading. Coins that are graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC fetch significantly higher prices. In particular, coins with the full torch FT designation, indicating full separation and definition in the torch's vertical lines and horizontal bands, are even more valuable, as they signify superior strike quality. A coin with this combination of error, rarity, and pristine condition is almost guaranteed to command attention from collectors, dealers, and investors alike. These coins are often kept in climate-controlled environments, securely encapsulated, and rarely enter the marketplace, except in major auctions, or private high-end collections. Adding to its appeal is the growing number of error coin collectors. In recent years, there has been a surge in interest in coins with off-center strikes, doubled dies, transitional errors, and incorrect mint marks. The 1965 D dime fits squarely in this category, making it a highlight of any advanced error collection. Many experts consider it one of the holy grail error dimes, given that it defies both policy and production standards of the time. Its mystique and market value have only increased as fewer examples surface and the demand continues to grow. For those hoping to find such a coin, the best chances lie in old coin rolls, pre-1970 change jars, and unsearched collections past, down from older generations. While the odds are slim, the payoff can be life-changing. Because of its error nature, this dime is often the subject of YouTube videos, coin forums, and collector blogs, where enthusiasts debate its origin, authenticity, and value. It has become a symbol of how even the smallest coins can hold immense historical and monetary worth if they possess the right combination of rarity and condition. The $6,000 market value of the 1965 D Mint Mark I dime is not just a number. It's a reflection of its rarity, demand, historical intrigue, and error classification. The coin is a reminder that even during the most controlled periods of production, anomalies can occur, and when they do, they become numismatic legends. Collectors who own such a coin often consider it the crown jewel of their Roosevelt dime. Collections, and its value continues to rise as fewer examples remain in circulation and more are tucked away in private vaults. In conclusion, the 1965 D Mint Mark I dime represents a perfect storm of historical significance, minting error, and market desirability. While ordinary dimes from 1965 are plentiful and worth face value, this rare error version is a standout piece worth thousands of dollars. With only a few known specimens in existence, and collectors across the globe on the hunt for them, it's no surprise that this dime has earned a legendary status in the world of U.S. coin collecting. If you happen to come across a 1965 dime bearing the elusive D Mint mark, be sure to have it authenticated by a reputable grading company.